Yes, this is the temple breakdown. We about to break some knowledge down. We're definitely about to break the knowledge down right now. Build it back up and dish it out for you to understand completely. Welcome to the temple breakdown. Today, we're going to talk about unconditional love. Love with no conditions. I love you because, not I love you because this or I love you because that. I love you. That's it. No conditions. We're going to break it down.
Yeah. And here go a poem that I wrote, and I'm gonna say this poem. This poem, the lack of unconditional love, separating the power of love. The queens and queens are fighting amongst each other, losing respect and honor for one another. They are divided. They are divided. Domestic violence, lack of communication, lack of understanding, the separation of unconditional love, the powerful connection is not there. The mother, the father, the son, the daughter is not together as needed, disconnected from from the natural process of building a beautiful family. The love is not there. The traditional family values losing its principle. The sun is shining. The water is evaporating. The seed is lacking its elements. The fundamental principle of culture, a natural environment, a natural environment, the combinations of energy for life, separation of power, the energy in DNA, the power in melanin, the energy in love, the powerful enlightenment, the energy in family, the inspiration and motivation, the separation of power in all aspects of life, usually handled with unconditional love, losing power, losing our spirit, losing consciousness, misguided, misinformed, misconnected in our DNA. Fundamental principles to making up life, love, family, power, and absorbing the sun. The power that we need is in us. The unconditional love that should be nothing but genuine.
Shay, I like that.
So
That's deep right there.
I look at unconditional love as nature look at us, as nature support us, whether we doing good or bad. That's just like our soul, how our soul carry us all throughout our life. And whether we did good or bad, our soul is always there. So I think the unconditional love is right there, built right there within our soul.
I feel that that's real rich right there, coming from you and in your words of knowledge. It touches, it says a lot about a lot, you know, and you know, that was pretty deep. That's why I had to call it is rich.
Yeah, that's rich. I agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I just want to add, unconditional love. This is loving without no conditions at all. This is just loving.
Yeah.
That kind of goes back to the same thing. We say unconditional love. Can we handle unconditional love? You have people that can handle unconditional love, and you have people that can't because they don't even know what it is or they don't know how to give it.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's kind of like put a magnifying glass on unconditional love. Let's open it up. What is it? We're saying it's loving with no conditions. What is loving with no conditions? Like let's break it down.
I mean, I have children, right? And coming from a woman's point of view and saying that I have children, as far as in saying I have unconditional love, yeah, I have that unconditional love, but I still got some conditions on some stuff that needs and wants are the same. You know, some people say, oh, my needs are different and my wants are different. But when you talk about something as being as natural as something that you should have without even putting the label on it that we should have it so naturally. Yeah, I got some conditions on it because I expect certain things out of you because of this particular knowledge that I'm giving you, the right and the wrong, so that when you get it, you absorb it for yourself enough to know what to do on a moral on a moral standpoint, on having obedience, you know, or knowing how to handle people, proper handling of people, you know. So I can say, yeah, I got that unconditional love for my daughter. I have that. I will never stop loving her. I will never stop being in love with my child. But it's different according to what type of love you're getting out of it and what type of love you're giving. Because the same way that I will love my mate ain't the same way that I'm going to love my child.
Hold on now.
So having those unconditions or having those conditions, it is kind of, you know, it speaks out for itself. We should have those things, even with my child, whether she does wrong or not. Me, type of person, listen, I will back you to the fullest, whether you wrong or right. But guess what? When we get behind them closed doors, don't you know it's on? Do you not know it's on? Those are the type of conditions I live by. You know, dealing with my mate. We got some conditions, you know, because we've already begun to separate or label certain things, and upon labeling, you separating it anyway. Now we got to deal with it financially. We got to deal with it emotionally. We got we breaking bread or eating together, praying together, or on whatever avenue that it is, and someone is not getting what they expect out of it. So now we got conditions on some things because now that feeling, that obligation, that expectations have not been satisfied. So when we talk about unconditional love, I can't help but talk about the negative and the positive on both aspects.
Yeah, Ella, I can understand that. But after you get from unconditional love, you get a condition, and that mean the rules and stuff that you set by, you know, that don't have nothing to really do with the unconditional love that you already have. That's just the condition, or that's just the conditions and the ruling that you actually laid down that people is not going by to actually continue on in love, being in love with that unconditional love.
I got it. It just came to me. So what you're saying is, you said unconditional and you said conditions. Right. So you're saying it wouldn't be any conditions on unconditional, because if you don't never break that, you won't have to worry about nothing, right? Ain't that what you said to me? That's basically how I'm getting it.
Right.
That's we wouldn't even have to be going back and forth about what's unconditional or what's conditional, because if we're treating each other according to those natural laws of supreme love, supreme love, I wouldn't even have to put any conditions on this. It will remain unconditional for your behind. I like that. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Right, because see, you know, that's the condition is just the opposite of the unconditional. You know what I'm saying? That's just anything with the on it is just the opposite of it.
Anti.
Again. Right, you know, it's just going against it.
We don't need anything under the conditions of what you're giving. I need you to be over the conditions of what you're giving me.
Right.
I need your conditions to rise at height as the sun rise. I don't need it to set. Then you're gonna get complacent. You know what? I'm not doing that much because that's all that person needs.
Right. So
I'm only gonna put some limitations and conditions on it because that's all you get. Because that's where that's all that you can handle. That's all that you can absorb. So I can't give you no more than what you can absorb, because then you're gonna overload and then you're gonna still be mad at me.
Because see that when you go from a unconditional and when you go to a condition, it gets into a physical. It gets into a physical doing. So
Right.
in the physical, that's when you get the conditions of what you're doing. Because that's why everybody end up judging you off of what you do. You know what I mean? And that
Right.
ain't that just the condition or that just the situation. Them just situations. Situation comes and goes. We do things all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it goes like that. But that unconditional love stands out more than anything. Why? Because that's where your soul lays at. You know, your soul is unconditional. You know, even that we put our soul in conditions by the way we end up treating ourselves. You know, so that
That's just like, you know, certain jewels. You got your first jewels, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right?
mm-hmm,
You got knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge is first. And you know, wisdom, you would think that wisdom would be last, but understanding is after the wisdom. After you was wise to it.
mm-hmm.
So
Well,
if you don't have the knowledge on how to love someone enough to love them unconditionally without any conditions, you know, without these things happening enough to know what you're willing to deal with, what you're willing to understand, how far you actually really willing to go with that person, and if it's even worth having that unconditional
right.
a love for them, if that's where it's supposed to be at. Because guess what? I don't know about you. I can't say that I love everybody because I don't know everybody to love. I know that is billions of people on this earth.
See, that's the
I
body.
haven't met everyone directly enough to know who's good, who's bad.
That's the
I
body.
agree with you.
See,
Right? I don't know if meeting them at that split nanosecond that's gonna be a good or a negative energy enough for me to want to love, enough for me to receive that love, because you could be getting some negative energies that ain't I don't love that.
Exactly. You
But
that's
I
a
know
that's a
the
good point.
conditions on it, huh?
That's a good point. What I want
very
to do
good
is kind
point.
of dissect the word. You know, you got unconditional, and then you got
Mm-hmm.
love, right? So unconditional, this is conditions, this is situations and circumstances, different degrees of how you look at it and perception and view and all this type of stuff, right? Then you got love. You know, real love is the sustainability of life, sustaining life, accomplishing, sustaining life. If someone accomplished sustaining your life, you can be like, wow, I love that person, right? So love is the accomplishment of sustaining life. You gain this knowledge through loving yourself, self-love. Look at all these type of like things that we can get into. So I think we should push aside the unconditional aspect and let us now analyze this love thing. What is love? Because if you don't know what love is, that's like what the Queen was saying. If you don't know what love is, right? How can you love someone else? How can you use that in another terms and use it and add unconditional with it if you don't like first know how to love?
Well, the first part, if a person ain't actually accept themselves, they ain't gonna understand what unconditional love is. We all didn't put ourselves in some type of condition
That don't
before.
mean we
But
love ourselves any less.
right, see what I'm saying? So, but if you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna know that unconditional love. I didn't put myself through a lot of things of my choices that I made, and I still have to find the fact to dig in deep to actually love myself unconditionally. That means I understand all the things that I didn't put myself through, but I still love myself unconditionally. That's my
So
soul.
you're saying that love is self.
Yeah.
Love is self. You heard what I said. Love is self. Because first, to know love, you have to know yourself. Okay?
Right.
Hold on, I want to add to that. I just want to add to it. Also,
Huh?
right? Unconditional love is a higher level of love, is an achievement. You the general. You it's like a PhD of love. Because I didn't
That's
master
called
it all.
supreme
No
love.
conditions more for me to know anything else about love. I mastered love, unconditional love. That's what unconditional
But
love
that's
is.
called supreme
That's what it
love. And
sounded
when
like.
you,
That's what it sounded like.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's called supreme love. I use the word supreme because I feel like
Okay.
supreme is on the
Right.
highest
Like
level
that.
of everything. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
That's a love that I'm still living in the flesh. You know, when you're talking about supreme love, now we're going into, you know, some deep stuff. When you when you
Supreme
say
love.
unconditional, I look at when you use the word unconditional and you use conditional, now you're talking in the human form. That's what we got to separate that. And the reason why I say that is because I remember when I was taking up language arts class, and when we write down, we was taught not to use two negatives in one sentence. So if we say, if we put love, which love is supposed to be a supreme element of everything, right? Because you know you got to put love in anything that you do. Because if you don't put no love in it, you ain't gonna respect it. You know, I'm just saying it like that. If you put love and then you say unconditional, that's like already doubting the love. Well, no. Not now, I'm saying it wrong. When you say love's supposed to be unconditional anyway, right?
Right.
So now that we put love and then we added that word unconditional, we're putting conditions on it. That's like a reverse psychology to me.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, that's why I rather use the terminology of genuine love. You know, that's just like the supreme love. You know, as far as terminology, why I rather use genuine. And
So when I say supreme love, I'm talking about something that a love that we be thinking that a love is like a fairy tale. That love, like, Dad, you know I'm wrong, but you still gonna love me. I know you upset about the situation, but don't take the love away that you say you have for me. Don't take that love away that you have just because of that situation. We can deal with that situation, but that don't mean you stop the love.
Not at all.
So we can deal with that situation because that situation gonna have conditions on it or unconditions that, you know, that have to be dealt with.
But if you fully understand the potency of love, you know, there's no conditions. So that, I guess, it goes back to like a supreme love, because if you have that ability to love supremely, there's no conditions. Like, you know, you will understand.
It's unconditional.
You're able to
Exactly.
the next
It
person,
has no conditions.
the next person's
So,
shoes.
right. So my thing is, where's the supreme love? You can't put conditions on that. I might be mad about that situation, but that don't mean I stop loving you. The only person that can stop me from loving you is you.
Right. And see, and that's
If
what
you not,
that's supreme.
Are you
if
saying?
you're not around to, if you're not around, if you,
I want to ask a question. Are you saying that there's a lack of knowledge in the Black community about the incorporations of supreme love? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I am. I am saying that because when we look at a woman and a man, right? Upon them uniting, loving, they love unconditional because it's an act, and they show that in a carnal way in their lower desires, of course, for reproduction, because sex is nothing but a science of reproduction, not just physically, but also with your mind. So when we come together, I'm opening my mind up to you. I'm opening my body up to you. That's an unconditional love right there that I'm allowing, that I can't control. That's something that can only be controlled if I say no upon none of that happening or before that happened. Now, I can love you without the carnal feelings and emotions or the act, in a different act of showing my appreciation, showing my trust, showing my loyalty, showing my humbleness, showing my understanding and the wisdom towards whatever we're growing about. So those particular things happen to be, separated differently. So you got to know how to manage that energy according to what you're giving energies to. Because when you give that love to it, you giving birth to it. But if you're not birthing it and loving it, showing that action, giving that energies to it, you putting conditions on it. I'm only going to give you, a sample. And
Now,
I'll give you a sample because I'm unsure and the doubt setting. That's when the conditions come in.
all right, with doubt, the conditions come in
Exactly.
with doubt.
With doubt, with fear.
Right.
So
Right, that's
let
why.
me ask this. So you remember when I said love is the sustainability of life? So that what that sounds like is like, okay, I'm going to sustain your life for a little bit, but after that, I'm going to stop. If something happened, I'm going to stop. Like I'm
Yeah,
not.
well, I'm mad, or it don't go my way, or it don't seem like it's working out. I just can't handle. Oh, I'm just so sick. You made yourself feel like that because a lot of times people don't understand. I'm gonna say this: people don't understand that you can cheat in your mind. You don't have to physically cheat somebody out of something. Upon the thoughts that you allow manifest inside of you, that gives doubt instead of birth life into what you want, can be the whole destruction that will put the conditions on that love.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all hear what I just said?
Yes, I did.
I heard you loud and clear.
Clear.
So
Loud and clear.
we do that, and we act like it's a trend, like it's a new fashion. That ain't how that's supposed to go. You have no honor, no loyalty, no respect upon what you think love is. People say, look, love, we happen to make vows, a vow or a contract or anything of the, but you can't even follow through with it because you already put set conditions on it and limitations off of what you believe your ability to be in your mind. You had already destroyed it before you even allowed yourself to make it happen, for it to manifest, so that you can put your hands to it, so that you can.
You off, right? What we're talking about here is natural love.
That's what I'm talking about.
Comes naturally. Natural love comes naturally. This genetic GMO love is what you see on the TVs, what they taught you in schools, the brainwashed version. Like, you see what I'm saying? We have to identify the naturalness in life. Self, true self. By studying self, you'll know about nature, you know about the universe, you know about everything. You'll figure it out. But just by studying you.
That's right. That's just like me studying my children or studying people, job, mate, or whatever. When we can be sitting down having a conversation upon me listening, paying attention with my eyes, talking with someone, telling by their body language. I can tell if I said something that was offensive enough. And if I had that understanding, I don't know not to really go in that avenue because I see it might be a little bit sensitive. That's having the understanding enough, that love enough, that discipline within yourself to detect those. Because you got more than one, you got a whole bunch of senses that can detect that conversation may be going to the left. But we're so arrogant. We want to egg it on and say what we want to say just to see what a response is going to be and not really allow it to be a natural understanding of love where you're not crossing the grain, where you're not coming out of character, where you're not just saying what you want to say because you think you've grown. That's what a proper handling of people coming in at. So, this person needed to hear this. Because I'm just tired. Or this person needed to know this because, it needs to be said because that last person didn't say something or they didn't do this. And this, we have to micromanage that according to also the love that we generate off to get the love that we want. So I could be talking about supreme love all day, but when it's time for me to actually handle a situation that needs that love, that unconditional love, how am I handling it?
Supreme love. I like how that sounds. That's beautiful. Supreme love.
And supreme love, when you start learning that, just learning yourself, knowing where you come from, knowing what to eat, knowing what makes the world go around, knowing that you are the originators and the builders and the civilizers, you start having a whole lot more understanding about what supreme love is and how to treat your own before you treat someone else.
Hey, I want that. Free you love.
You start checking that shit. I'm for real. It shocked me. Yo. And this is me talking about as a woman. It shocked me because I had to reanalyze, rebuild, and get my mind together. Like, well, dang, okay, how am I handling my children? How am I handling my home? How am I handling myself? How I'm handling my mate? How am I to and from? Because this is what we taught. You got to be civilized in the house and take that outside, so you don't have no problems and have to be dealing with these demons and stuff out here. To make sure that you get back safe so that these things can keep on growing. You're giving birth to it. And when you give it birth to it and you pump that into your children, your mate, and your home, then it'll start growing. But then you got to be careful, because when people start seeing that sunshine, they be wanting it for themselves, and then they still on their carnal shit. Oh, yeah. And then with them being on their carnal, but they want that and can't even keep up with the vows that they have for within themselves. Because greed done set in. That power, they already in a position of power and greed. So they like, dad, that sunshine a little bit bright. I want some of that sunshine over there. And they don't care how they get it. Not paying attention to the supreme love. I was just telling one of my bestest friends, a good brother. We're in different states. I was speaking to him earlier, and he was talking about just about the same thing on the same manner of hurt and pain, not wanting to do it again, or not wanting to be united again. And I had to tell you, it's a difference between someone that made those vows of supreme love, of being united within themselves, that you put in, you're not putting conditions on your love. You allowing your love supposed to soar with that mate that you, so that you and her or him can build your home, your business, or whatever, because it is a business. Love ain't nothing cheap, but it's free and it's natural, but it's not cheap. Because nobody goes, supreme love, supreme is not a cheap. Supreme love is not a cheap love.
You know, I understand.
You don't have to pay for it. See, supreme love is not a cheap love, though. You know, like when I say cheap, I'm talking about supreme love is not no ghetto type love. Supreme love is on the highest level of superiority. So you can't come cheap. You can't come with no fake half behind love and think you're gonna get some supreme love. You gotta really put in. You gotta really know so that you can get that.
Oh yeah. True. I want to add this though. Check this out. So one of the reasons why I keep emphasizing self-love and even supreme love, great form of just the highest form of self-love is supreme love. One of the reasons why I keep emphasizing self-love and these types of forms of love, because the process that you would have to go through in order to stand on your square as a person with experience via self-love and supreme love. Supreme love is what you get after you reach the supremacy of love.
That's true.
When you exercise and go through the motions of studying thyself and loving thyself, and you learn and develop experience, you could see another individual and be like, okay, this person doesn't love themselves. Okay, you can now you begin to be conscious of love of a people for themselves. This is why I expressed it a lot, because if you were to embrace loving yourself and learn from it, you won't. It decreases mistakes. This is a life-giving aspect, So when you embrace this life-giving aspect in your life, you will start seeing sustainability in your life because of this. What you're practicing and embracing, your life will start to sustain a little bit different than how it is without embracing.
True indeed. You'll eat differently. You'll talk differently. You'll walk differently. You'll dress differently. You'll think differently. You'll even love differently. When you even reach out to touch someone, your touch, your embrace, your reach will be different. You won't even it's such a different. It's like I could just do it, but you can't you can't even give it to everybody because everybody ain't trying to even receive it like that. I'm so serious. And it makes you afraid to do that, because then a lot of times that people that know what the supreme love is and know what that act is, and you happen to meet people that is not quite on that type of avenue with you, it makes it difficult to really give it to them, because then that energy that they're giving to you makes you doubt giving that supreme love to them, because they don't know how to receive it. And you don't want to use it up for, I'm not saying that it's an energy that can be used up to where you don't want to give it to someone else. No. And some people, it will shock the mind, and it will shock the body to make them say, you know what, I don't want to do that for nobody, because I don't trust no one. They don't deserve it. You know, those thoughts do come across people that feel like they know, but then you have to really back and be like, did I really handle that situation enough to get what I needed out of that, so that person knows that what I was giving to them so freely, like I was loving you for real. Now, I wasn't loving you for fake, you know, and what my intentions are, you know, that it makes you like, oh, you know, you don't deserve this. On to the next, to someone that is on that level and knows how to maintain and give that very thing you want back. But when you start putting finances and who doing this and somebody ain't doing that spoils the whole game of what supreme love is. And if you're not studying with that person that is on that level, I'm talking about it for real. Because I mean, I might as well say it's me. If I'm not studying with that person on that level that we talk about, that, man, I'm just as happy and ecstatic about the same thing you ecstatic about, that gives you that energy of life, motivation. Because that's that spark too right there. That's supreme love within itself. Just that energy uniting those waves, you know, because sound travels.
That's pushing your body to move. That's
right, and that's bringing that you speaking life. That's traveling. That's energy. That's positive energy. But when you put conditions on it, then that it decelerates. It, you know, it goes low, and that's not giving them as much energy as it needs for it to activate on a supreme level. Now it's activating on its lower levels. You know, that's just like when we go, everything have levels to it. We go to school, we went to kindergarten, first grade, then we went to middle school, then we went to high school, and then you got college. Then you got other schools in between, trade schools. Everything has a level. Your maturity has a level. You might not get it right then. And you know, and with having supreme love, you have to understand that, okay, you might not, even if I love you so unconditionally, you might not be on the same level. I might have to just have enough understanding, wisdom, humbleness, and loyalty and patience. And patience to wait, because how much I love you for you to be on that level enough for me to see. It really depends on the individual.
Your pot that you're cooking right now, I want to throw something in there. Many people cannot identify what we're talking about right now within the context of this video. Many people don't know how to love themselves. They don't even know where to start. So I'll start first. Like you know, let's take some time out to kind of identify, or like let's talk about the polarity of loving yourself, not loving yourself. Something that I can share or throw into the mix of that pot. I think, you know, knowledge, wanting to learn more, wanting to know, being inquisitive. What is that? Ambition to become greater. That's a form of loving yourself. Because if you don't know, anyone can get over on you, or like, you know, you understand. You don't know, you're missing out. It's going to interrupt your sustainability.
With knowledge, to get in this, with knowledge of awareness, it doesn't have nothing to what you become, because you are already with what you are. No, the unconditional love is what you already are. Your soul is what you already are. You can't make your soul no bigger, no better, no nothing. You only can make your conditions and situations better. You are who you are. And that's getting to know you. Know thyself, or I am what I am, accepting. And that's that unconditional love, just accepting your soul first. See, some people got it twisted backwards, where they look at physical concepts and situations actually trying to judge the soul. That's how they say, don't judge a book by its cover. So we're talking about unconditional love. We actually got to know what we loving, because some people can love money. Some people can love a whole lot of different things. It's what you actually love that actually gonna make that love unconditional, and that's that supreme love that we're talking about. That supreme love, which is actually the love of nature.
If you love money,
Mm-hmm.
and you put money over yourself, you don't love yourself. You love money. So that's you hit it right on the money. That's what that's what was going around in my mind. I wanted to say that. I want everybody that's viewing this right now. If you love money and choose money over yourself, you do not love yourself, and you're going to infect other people because you do not love yourself.
Right.
No one taught you that. No one taught you that. I'm teaching you that today. If you want to work, we all got to work right now, but just check me out. Like, you working 3, 4, 5 jobs and you work until you fall out. Where is the love for you? Where is the time for you? That's just my take on that. That's all my views on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, would like to throw a solution out there because that was kind of hard. That was like a nice little bam, bam. Let me just throw a solution out there.
Basically, what that actually shows you, the solution is actually really getting your perception right, or actually knowing what yourself is. If you don't know what yourself is or where you at, you ain't gonna be able to actually see anything clear to actually even know how to even operate or function in yourself as loving yourself. Because it's not no selfish thing. It's just knowing that all of this is nothing but yourself. Everything ain't nothing but yourself, and you treat it as such. And that's how you show the unconditional love. You treat it as you treat yourself.
Let me rebuttal and say, I was listening and I was gathering everything in. But let me just say this. Let me reiterate something. Love, it is everything that you all are saying. But the key ingredients is, basically, like you said, loving thyself. If you love thyself, basically, everything's gonna pan out. It's gonna go hand to hand. But one thing I have learned in this adversary world is that you're gonna have to be on that level just to embark or embrace what it is that you want. Because to be and to have, you have to make sure that your wants is really what you truly desire. And by me sharing that and saying that, it has to be everything that you want to be. If that person is not within that sector or not on the level, it's not going to even work. It's not going to even get to wherever it is. And you're backing and forth. And that's something that, I don't do per se. Me being in a situation, and I'll just say this, by me being the age that I am, and I don't carry that around, throw it around, but knowing what I know and knowing as I wasn't learned, because, now we're critical thinkers. So therefore, you know, everything that you basically got to do and everything that you have to have, you can't just give it to anybody. This right here is sacred. The body, the woman, we bring poom poom, as the song say, the poom poom brings life. We bring everything to existence to making it even exist. But without, you know, knowing your worth, is fruitful. It's not even worth it. So therefore, with that being said, I don't know if you gathering what I'm saying is, based on what I'm saying is, you have to make sure that the person that you want to be with has to, for one, be on the same level as you are. Anything that you touch, everything that you do on a daily basis, it's supposed to be naturally. So love comes freely, and then the unconditional comes freely. But first of all, what gets me is you have to get me mentally before you can get me physically, because nothing else is gonna work. If you're not on that level, it's like they say, and it's like that what they said in the game. You know, we fourth quarter. We ain't playing no more. You know, we got to get in there. You know, if you
Right,
can't get on,
right.
if it ain't fourth quarter, you got to sit on a bench.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like I'm not gonna waste my time. My time is too fruitful. I got other things that I have to do. Everything that's around me, people that's around me, has to make sure I have to make sure they're on one accord too. And without me being the leader or being that person that's gonna, you know, apprehend the situation and take heed of it, I have to make sure my game is on point. You know, love is not something that you can just throw around and just, you know, willy nilly just say, you know, oh, it's something I'm gonna give you a try. You know, you won't even basic. No, you fourth quarter, way out. You ain't on it. You sitting on the bench. You ain't riding nothing. You ain't playing in the game. You riding it. You riding the bench. So I feel as if, you know, unconditional, you know, you can love somebody, but you still cannot know somebody. Regardless of how much you're doing, you can love, you can unconditional, you can do all the above. But if they don't have it in their heart to do heart to heart, they don't have it.
It ain't gonna work.
Get
You
out of
still
here.
can love them. You still love them. That's a part of the that's the part of the supreme love. You still love them. You
You
love
can
them from a distance.
still love them, but it's not going to be the same. You shouldn't still have to school somebody on something that already is innate and what they should already be doing.
Fact.
You know, and that's something that, you know, we try to do. You know, we can't see, this is where I get, we can love our mate, we can love the people that we call consciousness, but we can't even get, we bend around the corner, we can't even love our brother and our sisters that's on there. We can't even get in, we can't even give people a daggone high. We can't give them a compliment. So we have this types of thing that we have to condition ourselves, recondition. And I say this terminology, we were conditioning beings. Everything that we were taught was not basically all the truth. So knowing what we know now, we have to recondition our thought, our process, everything else, and make sure it's on point. You know, it's just, you know, like I said, it's time now for all the playing the games and stuff. It's fourth quarter. We got to get in it. I just want to say that on my end. That's how I feel about love. You know, I take love serious. I really do. Anything that I put into it, it can be anybody. I put into it, but I'm not gonna waste my time on somebody that ain't even trying to receive it or be receptacle on it.
Or reflect that element of love that you issue.
Right. You
The
know.
Yeah, I
reflection
mean,
of that
I
because
element of
respect. I could respect that.
I just, you know, it's just that,
I
you know,
honor
my
that.
time, you know, it's a lot of things that, you know, we can go back and forth and we're doing, but it's too many things that we need to hit on. You know, we got people that don't even know our rights. As indigenous people, we don't know our rights. We don't know any of these things. We don't know half of the stuff, but we, you know, we trying to, you know, some people try to, you know, I guess, try to feel like, they're connoisseurs on different things or different levels. I tell everybody, hey, we can learn from everybody. I can learn from you. I can learn from her. I can learn from him. But we all have to get along and make sure we're on one accord. And that love has to be within itself. And you'll know love when it comes. It ain't gonna just sit there. Your vibration and the third eye is gonna open up real wide and let you know that vibration and open up that it's gonna open up for you to know. So I've come across some things, where, the vibration wasn't there, hey, I go with my gut instinct. I bail out. Because I know at the end of the day, that's something I'm gonna have to live with on my heart of heart. I love everybody, but you just can't give love to every and anybody. Your love, that love is something, has to be something that has to be worth. You have to be worthy to get that love. Because some people don't desire to have love. They don't desire to get that love. So
I agree. You said something cool. Like you said this. You said, well, what I got from what you were saying is like, you feel more comfortable love is not to be given to everyone, and you feel more comfortable you feel like the right person to issue your love to is like the perfect reflection of that love. Like someone who reflects the same love that you give, that is a person who's worthy of receiving that unconditional love.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why.
If you ready to break bread with me and you ready to receive and you ready to help the cause, I've come across some conscious people that's supposed to be conscious, but they have trades and they have all this and that here. I'm just saying what I'm dealing with here in Cincinnati area. They say they know how to do trades, but when it comes to helping out your brother and your sister, you could go all the way to the motherland, help those that's doing for the motherland, but you can't help those that's in your own neighborhood. And then your rebuttal, what they say is when they said it, well, it's time out. I don't have time to sit up there and give my love to people that don't want to learn or don't want. No, it's not an on and off faucet like you can turn on the faucet. It's something that you have to do every day. It has to be given every day. It's a learning process. Love is something that you have to give every day. But you only want to give it to those that are receptacle to the love. If you're not being receptacle, I'm not gonna give it to you because, like I said, I see and I act accordingly to seeing. I study human behavior, and if your behavior is not of what I feel that it is, I'm gonna keep it right there on the floor. I'm gonna just say, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want to partake on it. But like I say, it's just so many diversity type of feelings of love that you get. I have love for my family. I have love for my relatives. But you treat relatives and family totally different because when it comes to that form of that relative and that love, the people that love you and the people that are relatives, they can't stand you on your back. So it's a difference that you have to put that hold on that love and that unconditional love. I love my mother unconditionally. I love my brother unconditional. I love my seed unconditional. I love my kids unconditional. They partaking and have all this negativity to say about what it is that I'm doing. I don't have that unconditional love for her, but she's bloodline. She's relative. So it is a stop. To where it leads and where it ends and where it ends at. So I just want to make sure I can get that out there. My take on this, and that's me personally. I ain't saying for everybody else. That's how.
That's respectful. I like that. I look at it. I like that. I look at it as I love your soul. I love your soul. I know everybody got it, but some of it ain't. Some people ain't aware of their own soul. You know what I'm saying? So I love your soul. So when I say I love you, I'm talking about your soul. In a physical aspect, I don't know what you're doing per se, whether it's good or not. You know what I'm saying? Or are you doing the best of work in your deeds? Or when I say I love a person, love, I'm talking about your soul. You know, so
Yeah, that too, but like you gotta be, it can go deep. I can give you another metaphorically speaking. Satan
uh
had a soul, but he still was conniving. Everybody has a soul.
right.
Everybody has that, but it's how you carry yourself in that predicament of going down that line is what I'm trying to say. Bending it, keeping it realistic. I'm
Okay.
145%. I ain't nothing. I'm organic all the way. So anything you get from me, I'm speaking basically factuals on things that actually I've dealt with. I'm not saying, negativity. I'm not trying to put that negativity in there, but it does seep in there.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's where I'm coming from a standpoint. I get what the sister was saying, but I was just saying, me per se, that's how I
Mm-hmm.
deal with things. Everybody deal with things different. It's just that that's how I deal with it. Because I've been hurt so many times, and but I still keep it moving. I still keep it
Right.
pumping. But you keep on pumping and you keep on pushing. You don't get exactly what you get. But like I keep on telling everybody, I stay positive as I can because everything that I push
Mm-hmm.
out everything. I push out clouds. I push it out into the ancestors. That's what you gonna get. You get receptacle on things that you pushing out there. If you get pushing out negativity out there, that's what you gonna get. If you doubting out there, that's what you gonna do. If the business is not gonna be successful, that's what you gonna get. I am one of those that is like a person that keeps it 110. Push it out there, leave it there. And
Right.
I'm pretty sure Garth has heard, till I've spoken with him several times, like yesterday, we got this, and when I say we, I'm saying us as a family. We are all a family. I don't know everybody on here. We all are a family now. We're breaking bread. We're doing what we need to do. We're bonding. So we family. So when I speak on we. I don't say the I. No, I say the I unless I'm basically hitting on something else. But I'm just saying right now I was just hitting on that standpoint.
Okay.
Does it
All
really
right.
make sense?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it make sense. I just was just sat indulging in the conversation, letting because
Right.
see some people probably get me misunderstood by some of my lingo or some of my perspective. So
Right.
I wanted to just to make it clear that when I actually said, because I love my soul, so
Uh,
I gotta love the other people's souls. Not saying I'm gonna agree with what you say, not saying I'm gonna agree with what you do, or none of that. And I actually, I listen to a lot of different people, and some of them I see things that I like and some things I don't. But I ain't gonna try to take away my love and support because you made some other decision. But I know it's a genuine soul inside you because you actually have a care and concern for growth or development or just getting the people to even wake up to themselves, you know, and, and to get to know themselves better and get to know each other better, for we actually can do better to actually do something way more profound and just saying, oh, we finna get together and do a march, or we finna get together and go to the movies. We actually can get away from these different concepts that's actually keeping us separated and actually keeping our real, genuine union to come together to actually build up a real nation and actually do this in the fact of genuine love. Because I know it gonna be times when things gonna actually come against that, and you have to give back the thing that actually they're trying to hurt you, give it back to them for they can deal with it, for you don't have to.
I understand and I understand. That's why
Okay.
I understand. But I hate that system that everybody, and I'm trying to give everybody, the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm basically trying to say. So you have to understand there are some undermined people that do
Mhm.
different things, that, I'm not saying I don't know where you're living at, but there are some cool type of undermined people that do different things. And I'm only thinking of what I've dealt with since I've been here. I have not been conscious long, but the little that I have been, I've come to some grips with some sisters that, I had to just say, you know what? I can't be amongst that. I have to go another route, because, and it's not just me, and it's other people that'll see it too, and at the end of the day, like I said, when it comes down to get down, they see what I see. I don't normally judge people. I don't. That's something I don't do. But there are things that you have to deal with, once it kind of heart. It hurts my heart because, here it is, you have these so-called people saying that they're conscious, but here it is, you can't even give me a greeting. You can't even greet me. You can't even do none of this. You can't support what I'm trying to do. You can't support the movement that I'm trying to do. You can't do that, but you want me to solemnly support what it is that you do. So and my heart, I just say to people, I love, but my love, it runs deep, but I'm not gonna be a fool. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. You got, when we as conscious people, with thinkers, we know we woke up, we're woke. So therefore, the knowledge that it helps you to aid and assist in what it is that we need to do on this adversary world. Now you have some adversary people that that I just don't care to be. I don't even give them the satisfaction of the day. I don't even anything that they say. You got to get away from me with that nonsense. I just don't deal with it. I'm real, but I don't have time for that. I have zero tolerance for bull crap. I really do.
Right.
I
I
just,
mean,
we are here to, serve, aid, and assist to what it is that I need to do. And if you're on
mhm.
board with me, that's where it is. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, and I do it with that's my everyday regimen with my kids and my grandkids and everybody. They tell you I'm a dear.
Salute,
I'm strong
honor,
like a
royalty, royalty, beautiful,
thank you.
respected. I respect it. I respect it. I couldn't say that fluently before I was, what I'm
Yeah,
saying, before I loved myself. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't say that because I was actually
appreciate
a person that tried to use women. So I can say that now fluently, saying respect to all my queens.
thank
Even the ones that don't even know they queen, because it only take a genuine soul as yourself to actually keep on loving and doing what you do. You can't save everybody, but you can spark one, and that one spark can actually help others. So,
you.
so
Right.
I appreciate
Right.
the moments that you speaking with me, just the fact that you are speaking with me, and I give you
Exactly.
nothing but I give you the utmost respect, and I bow down to you as a queen. And you know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you. Is the sister still on
Uh,
with us?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, her mic muted though. Yeah, unmute
Okay.
your mic.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been listening.
Okay. Okay.
I've been moving around, but I've still been in tuned with everything. I heard everything that you said, and it makes a lot of sense, especially when you're talking about the proper. I always keep saying this: the proper handling of people. Um, we have duties to that. Love have certain duties. Me, I'm a mom, I'm an aunt. I'm somebody's wife somewhere. um, I'm silly too. I got a good sense of humor. But with all those things that I say I am, they have duties. You
Mm-hmm.
know, not only do I have duties as far as in being a mom to my children or my grandchildren. I have duties also of being an aunt to my nieces and nephews, which also show love, that supreme love, that understanding, of to where a point where they may can't go to their mom or their father. They know to come to auntie, because auntie about it, and living out those duties. Because now in society, the way our children are being brought up with the educational system and the things that they're learning, it makes them hard to want to come to a parent of authority, of knowledge and wisdom, so that they can understand. Okay, a little bit more than what they're understanding. So when they feel that they're not getting that proper love and understanding or nourishment, they feel like nobody don't love them. So now we're all walking around here talking about something. I don't know what love is because I ain't get it at home. You done
I
put
want to throw
conditions
something
on
in
it.
there. I want to throw something in there real quick. Love is the sustainability of life, the accomplishment of sustaining life. Trust me. Think about it. I think I unlocked it. It's the sustainability of life. So if you're sustaining a life and that person whose life you're sustaining is not sustaining your life, that's not love. So withdraw your sustainability and issue it somewhere else. Trust me, it's the sustainability of life. It's getting dark where I'm at. Let me turn some lights on. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's true. On the sustainability of love. Who can sustain the sustainer when the sustainer needs sustaining? you know, you know,
Sound like a tongue twister.
you know.
It's supposed to be as we know of today. It's supposed to be the kings, because the
Ashe.
ones who actually sustain life is coming from life. It's actually the mother, which you can call it Mother Nature. You can put it in that sense that lines up together. But the one that actually supposed to protect that and uphold that is actually the king. You know what I'm saying? Because when after a king bowed down to the queen, he supposed to stand up for her protection and nothing else. Protect her for keep her sustainability up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that comes in at. That's because see, we thinking that we came to be a helpmate. The woman was a helpmate for us, but we came to actually be a helpmate to the woman. See, they put the reversal psychology on us where we got that misconstrued. See,
Yeah, they
and
gave
that's
it.
why I don't. Oh, I didn't hear.
I said they see what they did was they snuck that one in, they did it, but us not be knowing what it is that it was like, they keep on saying the man came from the rib of a woman. That's not even the correct terminology or anything can be said. It isn't even if you did it, even my 10-year-old even did it, you can't come from the rib. You can't,
It's
we don't know
impossible. Now, before man's was existing, the woman had the ability to have a child with because of simple fact the woman got sperm marrows in her bone. You know what I'm saying? She got that in her blood already. So when she was actually didn't need a man when the miracle births was happening, she already had that capability. But throughout the cycle of actually the breakdown of the separation of the souls, because in multiplication it takes away from something in the conscious of the common senses, the the awareness of the common senses. So these common senses actually goes down with the degree of what the whole surrounding that we living in the spirit. Everything dealing with this spirit. So with this spirit, after it start circulating and changing it throughout ages, or what you want to call it, ages that they're trying to calculate, you can say that, but it's actually depends on the degree where everything is in. And this is what we see in off the multiplication of the breakdown of the density that we actually in. And we can see that because everything used to be bigger, everything used to be this and that, and things that people are actually keeping away from us is actually our infinite nature. And that supreme love. And see, and actually opening your mind up instead of having a stagnant mind, you can actually see things a little bit clearer because you can see that people actually try to put a build a block in your psyche. My bad, I'm getting off course. My fault.
Building a block in your psyche. What
Oh
you
yeah.
do is just understand that that is not life giving.
Oh no. No.
That is not a person sustaining your life.
Not at all.
Exit stage right. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I like it.
Sustainability of life.
That's the conditional
With no
love.
conditions. We cracked it. There you go. That's what the temple breakdown is about. That's what we do.
You know what I'm saying?
The sustainability of life with no conditions.
You know,
My child, your perception of your child, you're looking to sustain your child's life with no conditions.
See, what people, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
uh-huh.
When people begin to feel, you know, that fear and not really know their purpose, you know, they think, oh, we just have kids and let me stop saying kids because that's the improper word. We still have children and we forget about what our duties is and what it details of that unconditional love that has been placed in our hands to learn that, you know, we learn it first, you know, from our parent and what our parent gives us, you know, then we learn it, you know, according to how we feel about ourselves and learning ourselves and doing the knowledge on ourselves and what we willing to withstand and learning who we are and who we come from and how to eat. And when you learn how to eat to live and how to love to live, then you'll know all those duties that details the very thing that we're talking about within separating those loves and according, not, you know, not separating with conditions, but separating according to the situations at hand and the people that you're dealing with. But we get, you know, we get all bogged down with our feelings and, you know, oh, we got these conditions, you know, the limits that we put on ourselves. So when we limit ourselves, then we limit ourselves to those supreme, the very supreme love that we say we want. By not learning ourselves, by not learning how to eat, by not loving ourselves so that we can be able to love someone else properly.
Within the process of loving yourself, you know, there definitely is a process of loving yourself. What you're going to learn is certain things that tick you off, certain things that you do that is not loving yourself, that you get a chance to correct. Studying yourself, studying everything that there is about you, all of your habits, all of the things that you're addicted to.
Yes, I began to love myself a whole lot more when I started learning who, you know, when I asked grandma, well, grandma, what tribe you say we come from? When I started learning that and really understanding my true love within and where I come from and being proud of a great people, I mean, just for me personally, and started learning that and started doing some studies and started doing some research and then started looking at the ingredients on stuff like, shoot, I ain't trying to kill myself, you know, or when I need to take care of certain situations with my family members on how to properly handle that. You don't know exactly until you're going through it at that time. But maybe I didn't handle that right. So I didn't show that proper love enough for a person to get it. So it's all types of different levels to this thing when we talking about supreme love. You gain
knowledge through the experience of loving
exactly
yourself. And you should use that knowledge. The use of knowledge is power. So when you start using the knowledge that you gain from experience and from loving yourself, you become powerful. Just by loving yourself, you become powerful.
That's right. And then you know that mortality within yourself has a DNA. That DNA lets you know from right and wrong. That lets you know the emotions that lets you know how to properly serve that love according to the situation. Because you know,
Would you
some
say? Would you
things,
say that's the beginning of unlocking your DNA? But loving yourself. Would you say that's the first step?
Oh yeah.
of course, of course,
Oh
when you
yeah.
start, because you know, like I said, for myself, some things my parents may not have taught me because they may not have been directly,
Yeah, no.
you know, exercising it, because you know people live different, you know, they do different things throughout the life. They don't have time to sit down and study and give that knowledge properly or
I just
according
want
to
to
the
add this.
time span that they was living in, you
I
know,
just
because
want to add this.
my mom was born in the 30s.
Not to
So
cut you off. Not to cut you off. Right. Um. After gaining the knowledge of loving yourself, I kind of lost my train of thought a little bit. But
Okay.
this is important though, right? Well, could you kind of rehash on what we was just talking about? Kind of because I was listening to what you're saying, it kind of threw me a little bit. But this was like something really really important.
well, I was talking about my experience of coming into of learning that love when I, little things for me, learning who I am, learn where my people come from, and then when I started doing the knowledge and wanting it, see, I wanted that knowledge. I wanted to know my spiritual background, my I wanted to know who my people were before, why I look like this. I wanted to know those things. I wanted to know why my eyes look like Egyptian eyes. I wanted to know those things within loving myself and where I come from, because I ain't just get that out of nowhere.
Right.
That came from a people of love. So when
Okay,
I
I
begin
remember
to,
now. And that empowered you. That empowered you by gaining
yeah,
the knowledge.
that empowered.
And
Well,
I was
that
saying
that
the
didn't
use of
like
knowledge.
empower me. That enlightened what I was curious in. I fed that.
But not knowing,
That
I'm letting
love
you know it
within
empowered you.
was
I'm letting you
hungry.
know. No, hear me
That
out. I'm letting you know it empowered you because this knowledge empowers. Once you
exact.
recognize, okay, I
Okay.
come from a royal bloodline, you're gonna start acting like royalty,
Oh,
right?
bro.
Exactly.
So this is like motivation. You saw that upliftment energy, this new energy. You get new energy, new motivation. But this is what I want to say:
like
by studying yourself and gaining this knowledge from the experience of studying yourself, looking within. The moment you look out, you gain a new perception.
okay. Move.
New perception.
Right.
Okay? You're looking at things from the
Move.
inside out. You gain new knowledge. So you're looking at the world completely different. That is the beginning of unlocking your DNA when you can look outside of your vehicle. When you can look outside of your
Right.
vehicle and see things in a new light. You'll begin to see the brainwash. You'll begin to see all of these type of things. You'll begin to, if you can see, you can kind of what is that? Measure the distance. Math and science come into play. Because if I can see that stone, I might could jump on that stone. You see things. You see different things that people that do not study themselves cannot see.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's why, like, when you actually really start being genuine with yourself and really start looking within yourself, like, when I found out about the Yamasees, when I found out more about the Blackfoot Indians, these different tribes that's actually was here, you know. When I started finding out that stuff, to start looking into my last name, start looking into nature, start looking into my own nature, what I am, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and why I ain't this and why I ain't that. When I start questioning and asking questions, you know, being wondering about a lot of things, So, and that really got me to start, but actually start getting me to love myself a little bit more was actually hearing other people telling other people to love themselves. And that's what actually started motivating me more. But I started looking into more stuff though. And that's what actually making me more happy within myself. And I know situations and stuff, they gonna always change. But one thing ain't gonna never change is what's living right in my soul, what's already in my DNA. You know, what's already there. It been there. I just didn't accept it. I didn't accept it, you know, and now I don't accept too many people's judgments or I don't accept too many people definitions of who I am. I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what protects me from others that thinking they something other than what they actually are. So
your own identification of yourself. Your own identification of yourself, that which is inside of you that you embrace and love.
Right. And I can call that my nothing, because to other people you might think it's nothing. You might think I'm nothing, but to me, my nothing is all of me, and it's great. And it comes out, and I can show me. You know what I'm saying? So at my nothingness, I can come out of me, which is actually my soul, which is actually everything.
Okay.
Everything.
So brother, we coming towards a close. I just, everyone, let's say our final thoughts, and we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. My final thought on this topic here, unconditional love. I just want to give an example of, like, the Chinese and the Indian, even the Caucasians, different races, all races other than black people. They come together and they sustain each other's lives within the community, within the family. I see the sustainability of life and the knowledge of that. They speak different languages. They use different sounds to interpret the unconditional love. They use different sounds to say love. I think in Spanish, love is amor. Amor.
Right. I believe so.
Right?
Amor.
So they use different sounds to describe what love is. We need to have our own description of what we just unlocked within this conversation. The English term is unconditional love, and we use, I guess it's like a nature aspect, and we identify that same term as the sustainability of life with no conditions.
Right.
That is my take. Also, there's benefits. There is success in sustaining life, sustaining your life and sustaining your family's life. You will only learn how to sustain another's life by first sustaining yours and knowing the ins and outs of sustaining your own life. That's the only way you can effectively sustain another. That's my take. I can't end it right here. This is the Temple Breakdown. Thank you guys for coming here. I really appreciate all of you guys. This is awesome dialogue. We definitely broke down the knowledge and we definitely built it back up. Welcome to the Temple Breakdown. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Right.
Peace.
Yeah. Right.